Bored already? You do know this is a 3-hour flight, right? Well, you know me. Every minute with me is another kegger in my pocket. I kid. You can talk to me however long you want, free of charge. I owe you at least that much for convincing Gallic to leave that awful job of his. What did you want to ask? One, not a legislator. 2, I wish I wasn't. Stills is making me come back and collect the paperwork she promised she'd do. Oh, definitely not. We're not even in the same department. Stills just sometimes offers to do the more obnoxious busy work I'm burdened with. To tell the truth, I'm not sure why she does it. Maybe she finds it fun or something. She says I look stressed when I have too much paperwork, so she takes it off my hands. Anyway, even if it's technically my work, she promised she'd do it, and now she's going back on that promise. So I have to go back and collect what I gave her. I guess. It's an inconvenience, but it's not one I can't handle. Of course not. No, we all train to be in the legis corpus. Legislators are just one branch of the legal system. Well, more like one branch cleaved in two, but you get the point. I have nothing to do with that branch. Like I told you before, I'm a showmaster. Nothing is more theatrical than law. Trial development is all about putting on a good show. The kind of trial you just held with Gallic is kind of unheard of around here. In most cases, if you're put on trial, you'll be executed then and there. I would have been dead for sure. Trials tend to be reserved for the really big crimes. Things like high-level treason, murdering high-bloods, crimes in that vein. And yes, attempted assassination of a member of the Alternian Intelligence Service would be a trial offense. Well, as a showmaster, I've thought a lot about how I would have designed my own trial/execution. The whole incident caused Gallic a ton of paranoia, right? Well, I would center the execution around paranoia. After the verdict, which takes 2 seconds and doesn't matter, I would put myself in a box made of one-way glass. The audience could see my reactions, but I can't see what's happening around me. Then, the sounds are funneled in. I wouldn't know what method of execution is planned, so every time I hear a sound, I'd be on edge. The growl of beasts, the sharpening of swords, the spark of flamethrowers. The audience would watch me squirm until they start getting bored, when finally they simply send someone in to slit my throat. Maybe a little more intentionally than the poor bastard in the airlock. You get the idea. Well, it's no ambulance chasing, but at least it's exciting. I'd never be able to do what Tizius or Stelsa do. Their jobs sound insufferable. You'll have to ask them about it, though. They'd probably beg to differ. Are you hearing what you're saying? Of course he has top-quality transport ships to go with his top-quality space yacht. What, you think they pay him pennies over an AIS? Pennies that he won't be making soon enough. I may have miscalculated when I agreed to go off the grid with Gallic. Even if Legis Corpus is worse than I anticipated, I have become accustomed to a certain standard of living. A standard of living that has been partially subsidized by my cosmesis. I'm going to have to put twice as much into my side hustles. Maybe I can start selling my burner husk to Tizius' rebel contacts. I know she has them, she's not subtle about it. Yes, but that can't last forever. I'll just find another way. I wonder if there's anyone I can swindle on the Eustacia before I leave for good. I guarantee you there are no surprises, but have fun, I suppose.
Well, if it isn't the newest and best legislator in the Alternian Empire. Nonsense. I couldn't have done a better job myself.
You couldn't have done a better job yourself because it's not your department. Thanks for figuring that out back there, though. You really helped me out. In more way than one. The alternate universe thing? We're not.
Oh, Zizi, I think we should consider it. Can you imagine? We'd be living in a place where nobody is breathing down our necks. No more random hive stem drone checks. No more threat of death for not filling our work quotas. No more having our online data tracked. Well, that still sounds better than the knife that's hanging over our throats now.
Stills, you can't be serious.
Why wouldn't I be? I'm surprised you're not more excited about the prospect of leaving.
We have things to do. People we can't leave. You're not really gonna abandon Tagora like that, are you? I'll be right back.
I'm so sorry you had to see that. I don't know what's gotten into her. I'm sure she'll be back soon. Anyway, how are you holding up after the trial? What's on your mind? Just how she... No, of course not. You just popped in on us during a stressful situation. I do get where she's coming from. She's got her Moirail, Daria. Do you know her? such a good matchmaker. Maybe you can work your magic and get me a Moirail. But I can't blame Zizi for her reaction. It's already so hard to be separated from the ones you love through Ascension. Being separated across dimensions would be even harder. We're so lucky that we were both assigned to the Justitia. I can't imagine what it would be like if we had been split up for good. Of course not. Can you imagine one ship with every teal in the galaxy on it? No, the Justitia is just the Legis Corpus flagship. We handle the general organization of the legal system, as well as the largest trials. There are dozens of lower-level ships that deal with much lower-stakes jobs, like contracts and high-blow property disputes, not to mention the thousands of Enforcement Division legislators spread across the galaxy. Placement is all based off test scores. If Zizi and I hadn't placed so high, we might have had to... I don't want to think about the horrible could-have-beens. I'm just grateful we get to live out our ascension together. He hates busy work so much, I just thought I could take some of it off his hands. I do get through it pretty quickly after all. Well, yes, but you see, do you ever look at a person and think, I could really help him? Well, that's what I feel when I look at Tagora. He's so easily stressed out, and I know I could be there for him if he wants me to be. So, I take his extra paperwork when I have the time and energy. But I do not have the energy right now. Also, it does not seem fair for me to finish at the last of his work before he goes off the grid forever. Oh no, that's far too dangerous. The Justitia may be no paradise, but it's always safer to keep your head down and do the work assigned to you. I'm an order terrorizer, of course. I probably could have gone down the legislator track if I wanted to, but it can be so unpredictable. Order terrorizing is much more consistent. Oh, of course. Why should I assume you already know? We handle the internal affairs of Legis Corpus. Presenting elaborate show trials isn't easy, and if the other branches are left to have free reign, the delicate balance of organization goes out the window. Half my job is just convincing the showmasters to scale back on their special effects. That's how I started getting really close with Tagora, actually. I had to talk him down from flooding the entire courtroom and filling it with sharks. He was insistent that it was the only animal execution he could do for the crime of impersonating a sea dweller. Oh, tell me about it. The amount of paperwork to properly get even one shark shipped to the Justitia is ridiculous, let alone a room full of them. Aside from wrangling the showmasters, it's really mostly paperwork. It's not interesting, of course, but it's predictable, and that's all I can ask for. Take your time.
What the fuck? Can't you see I'm busy? Of course I'm agitated. I was nearly shot earlier today. And now you won't stop bothering me while I'm trying to get important work done. I'm just talking to some people. It's not Daria. we talk about this later? Sometime when we're not in such close quarters? Alright, fine. What'd you want to ask? Yes, I'm a legislator. What made you think we all were? Honestly, I can barely keep them straight myself. Makes sense that legislator is the only title you remember, though. For a while, we were all there was. Hundreds of sweeps ago, before the adults were sent off planet, legislators did it all. We did the research, caught the criminals, presented the trial. We were an all-in-one law machine. Well, things were a whole lot less complicated before Alternian colonization really took off. For one, all trials were his honorable tyranny-based trials. The giant monster trials. All you had to do was catch the criminal, say why they're guilty, and let the monster eat their head. Once we spread out into space, it got harder to make sure there were enough monsters spread across the galaxy, so Teal started to specialize in making interesting show trials in lieu of his honorable tyranny. That's when the showmasters became a thing, and with them came the auto-terrorizers to keep the logistics in check. Oh, of course not. I'm an investigative legislator. Around the beginning of colonization, it became pretty clear that some legislators were better at actually tracking down and catching the suspects, while others were better at collecting and presenting evidence. So, the branch split into the investigative division and the enforcement division, but both kept the title legislator because it was so historically recognizable. Oh, I haven't actually presented any trials yet. I'm a neophyte, which means I'm basically a research assistant to one of the senior legislators. They're the ones that collect evidence on site and present the trial. I just comb the archives for anything that can make the troll on trial look even more guilty. It's not a bad deal, honestly. I get unrestricted access to the Empire's legal records, which is kind of a gold mine. It's nothing. They're just super useful for work. We almost were separated, actually. Our Ascension placement is completely based on our cruelest bar test scores. We both aced the exam, of course, but Stelza's scores got mixed up with someone who didn't do so well. The ones who fail, instantly cold. Thank fuck her scores were swapped with someone who just did okay. But for a couple weeks, we thought she was going to be stationed doing paperwork on a low-level fleet ship. We started to say our goodbyes and everything. It was... If we had been separated, that would have been it. I probably would have deserted or something. The real test scores were found before we actually went off planet. I don't know how I would survive on the Eustitia without Stealth. She's really the only thing that keeps me grounded. After you introduced us, we started meeting at a cafe by the school feed pretty frequently. She was so angry, and I knew I could help her redirect that kind of anger toward the right things. I guess I saw her as a project at first. That's pretty fucking awful, not that I say it out loud, but it's kind of true. But pretty soon, it became clear that Daria was helping me too. I can get pretty overwhelmed when I look at the state of the Empire, but she helped me see past the smoke and actually get up and do something. She knows people. She might have been an angsty little shit, but she's really good with people. And she got me in contact with other trolls who had the same fire inside them. We started going to concerts together. We were even in a band for a bit. Bass. Really bad bass. The whole thing was Daria's idea, and we only did a few gigs, but it was still fun. We were basically inseparable for like a sweep. I don't think there was a day where we made it official, not like there was with me and Stealth. We just started calling each other Moirail at some point because it just made sense. God, I miss her so much. I guess I should go back over there. Apologize for leaving so abruptly and all that. Well, here we are.
Home at last. Oh, I can't wait to hop in the shower when we get to the apartment block.
God, I know.
Hey, Gallic gave you the best wedding accommodations you two will probably ever live to see, and that lack of a shower saved your ass.
I know. Come on, let's go home.
You're probably going to want to stick by us as long as you're here.
Lost? What are you talking about? This is one of the easiest ships to navigate. No, it's because you're a callable offense.
Just because the Empire isn't actively looking for you doesn't mean they won't feed you to the beast the second someone notices a strange, pasty white alien on an authorized Legis Corpus ship. Well, it was an honor. I hope you two like drowning in busy work for the rest of your lives.
Isn't it lovely? Zizi and I were so lucky to have gotten one of the quadrant suites. Zizi? Is it really the 24th of 8th perigee?
Yep, why'd you ask?
I can't believe I forgot. I'll be right back. Oh, this is a yahrzeit candle. You burn it for a full day cycle on the anniversary of a loved one's death to honor and to remember them. My Lucis passed 3 sweeps ago today. I was supposed to light the candle at sunup, but with the wedding and trial and everything, it just slipped my mind. I'm sure that's fine though. It's not like night and day mean much in space anyway. I miss you every day. It certainly is. I didn't make it though. It belonged to my ancestor. Tyrona gave it to me shortly before I ascended. She found it in the contraband locker of all places. Isn't that crazy? Oh, of course!
I hate to interrupt your catch-up session, but it looks like our favorite show is on.
Zizi, that's awful!
What can I say? He's fucking hilarious when he gets mad.
could you do this to me? And right before our honeymoon, no less.
Come on, you know you want to hear this juicy shit. It sounds like Gallic is cutting him off financially or something.
No, not the coffee. Anything but the coffee.
Oh, fine.
Where are you going?
I'm just gonna check on him really quick.
You know he's gonna be fine. He gets in a phone fight like twice a week.
I just want to make sure.
I'm gonna miss that little shit when he's gone. Not as much as Stealth will, though. That pale crush she's got is intense. Yep, it's honestly kind of cute. Sorry about shutting down your plan back there. I know Stelsa is interested in leaving. She might even be interested enough to leave me behind. And as much as I'd love to live in your utopic locked timeline with her, you know why I can't do that. But I can't let you take her from me either. So the best thing I can do is try to make her forget about it. Oh shit, I gotta go. Hey, wanna come see what's so important that I can't go with you? I'm gonna need you to keep quiet while we do this, okay? It's still pretty early, so no one's out yet, but if we wake someone up and they see you, we're both gonna be in deep shit. That's the head's office. We do not want to run into her. Fuck, I don't want to run into her when I'm doing my job. My place of operation. It's the only room in the entire ship that isn't bugged to hell and back. I paid Tagora to take out the security camera for me. He climbed up onto the top shelf and accidentally kicked the camera while trying to reach something high up. Now, we have to keep this quick. The longer we spend in here, the better chance that we'll get caught. Has the fire been stoked?
The flames are getting larger as we speak.
You got the list? How long is it this time?
Pretty long. Another one of our operations got busted. A ton of low-blood bystanders got caught in the crossfire. Anyone who survived got put on the cull list. Robo? I never thought I'd see you again. Are you okay? When did you get back? I'm so glad you're back. I knew you didn't forget about us. Hold on, what's your new host number? Let me tap you into the secure network.
Hate to break up the reunion, but we're kinda on a time limit here. Do you have the names?
Oh, right. Sorry about that.
Them again,
What can I say? They do a lot.
and get caught a lot. Please be careful on the next mission. This is the second list you've given me this week.
Hey, I don't like it any more than you do. The Empire pulls its shit whether we want it to or not.
I know.
Do we still have a minute, or do you have to leave? I gotta get RoboBuddy into the network. I don't want to lose contact with him again.
Yeah, sure, whatever. I'll give you two a moment. I'll text you the signal once the records are gone.
Of course. Stoke that fire.
It's what I do for the revolution. Every week or so, Mallet gets me a list of names of people who need to get off the cull lists, and I go into the records while I'm doing work research and erase the paper trail. I'm the only one on the inside, so it's up to me to make sure nobody in the rebellion stays on the cull lists. If they stay on and a drone so much as catches a glimpse of them, they're dead. Why wouldn't I be okay? Yeah, that makes sense. I probably just need to lie down for once.
I was wondering where you two had gone.
I was just giving our friend a tour of the Eustitia.
That sounds fun. Good thing it's after hours, too. Wouldn't want them to get caught.
Can you keep them entertained for a bit? I need a nap.
Of course, of course. So, are you still interested in taking a look at my journal? This is the bullet journal of my ancestor, Stenya Saziat. She was alive right around the time of the start of colonization, but before ascension was made mandatory. She was one of the first Order terrorizers. Makes sense too. Just look at how organized this journal is. I hadn't even gotten the journal yet when I chose my path of study. I must just have some generational memory that drew me to that kind of organization. Oh, no. Stenya didn't create the outside candle. That's just a Jewish tradition. Looks like there's more similarities between our worlds than I thought. I would love to come and meet your friends. But you know I can't leave Zizi like that. I'd also love to connect with other Jewish people. I haven't managed to find any information or communities online. According to Stenya's journal, she had a large Jewish community she was a part of, including trolls of all different castes. But those don't really exist anymore. Well, they probably do, but they must be very far underground. It seems like we were pretty heavily persecuted throughout the sweeps. But at least Stenya's journal is very thorough. I get to study where I come from with full illustrated guides. I wish I could figure out what these ones mean. I've tried to ask Zizi for help since she used to play music, but she never actually learned how to read it. No, I'd rather keep this to myself for now. Oh my goodness! Gorgor, what happened?
He's cutting me off. No thanks to you. I told you I had something to worry about. Now how am I going to afford anything?
It'll be okay. Come on, we can work this out.